Water is the softest and most yielding substance, yet nothing is better than water for overcoming the hard and rigid, because nothing can compete with it. Lao Tzu.
Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave. Name straight, new wave.
L losers lower. Round 2. Primordius Rising up against the Subsun to see if the Sun will set on their bracket run. I'm D-Lo, joined here by Lunarity, pardon, in the booth. We have our almighty eyes in the sky. Time to light. Giving you all of the cam action you need as well. We got Reclaimer behind that. Please make sure to thank our production as well. And you watching at home, Lunar, how we feeling?
Oh, we're doing pretty good. So this is the lower bracket as you already said. So the winner keeps going and the losers goes home. That's about
Bingo.
it. And I would think this is going to be a pretty good matchup. Both teams came from losers pretty quick, pretty early in the tournaments, but they're going to keep fighting through. We're going to see who's going to keep writing this Cinderella story, and someone's story is going to have to end, unfortunately. Now, prediction wise, I expect this to be pretty close games, both maps. I expect this to go probably map 4 or 5. So we'll see we'll see how things go, but everything should work out pretty well.
Well, we also have several other stories playing out across the CGL cinematic universe there. That's canon. Call it. Or a farmer going up against MSU. SCR Ascendants also taking on Smile anyways, but we'll see if they end up with a smile on their face. And meanwhile, of course, like we said, Primordius Rising. Oh, they lost 3-0 we just got. Well, they did not end with a smile on their face. But you know what? Maybe they died with a smile at the very least. Bruno Mars would put it, right? Subsun, Primordius Rising, that's what you're watching right now. Zodiac's Boop Troop, they're up and Adam, Cuddle Puddle, and Aura Fury coming at you in a little bit. So still plenty of Overwatch action for your Sunday evening.
Yes, plenty of Overwatch, and even outside of this, we just finished OWCS as well. So a lot of Overwatch is coming through. We just finished one playoffs, and now we're going through these playoff rounds. So a lot of interesting stories have been made, both on professional level and now on the CGL level. This is going to be a great matchup, and we're going to see the winner kills on to fight Tarnish. So got a lot of tournaments, got a lot of games, and there's still plenty of fight left.
Got a lot of enemies as well, but Tarnished going off the back of a 3-0 victory over Snowfall. They have all the momentum behind them. Scary stuff to worry about. And up top, you see the winners. Boop Troop up against the Zodiacs, currently battling that one out. But we're focused currently on the lower side of things, the lower piece of bread in the sandwich. Primordius Rising, Subsun, each trying to make a delicious victory out from beneath their opponent. Now, worth noting, we are in the bit of a scramble with the new meta. Vendetta is on the horizon, but not quite yet currently in the game. So, Lunar, at the very least, we don't have to worry about any sortie nonsense.
Yeah, she'll be pretty strong. I think she's going to be a very hard character for many people to grasp in the beginning, but I think she will have an impact. Where in the meta will she impact? We won't know until she drops, and we'll see what other changes she'll have when she comes alive for the next season. But everything should be working out well. and we'll just have to see things go. As for right now, we're waiting for the match to come through. So we're going to go to Nepal. I expect this either Lijiang or Nepal, one of those two maps. People always go to this. This is pretty much the tempo map wherever you can feel each other, and also this is how you dictate most of the time the series goes.
I mean, yeah, right. It's a map where you have no excuse. Those Lijiangs, those Nepals, where we all know this map like the back of our hand. It just comes down to execution at that point. Sometimes, though, some teams operate a bit better with a stagnant point. Sometimes they operate a bit better off a moving payload. We'll see which one ends up being the former, which one the latter, as we all slate up here. So, taking stock of the meta, that being said, Looter, spit me some analysis. What comps do we expect to see, and what comps do we expect to maybe be banned out here as we move towards the board?
Well, I expect this to be a brawl heavy comp. In terms of what we can see being banned, I wouldn't surprise if we see a typical like Sojourners being banned. Tracer, I would have thought be banned, but she's kind of falling out of meta currently. She's not as strong as she used to be. Those nerfs came through and they're hurting her quite a bit. Some characters you might see come through. Venture is strong, Zarya is strong, Junker Queen might come through. You got Malga who's sneakily coming through. Very disgusting. Bap is also a character that you need to work out for. People have been trying to get Juno to work. She's just not it. She's just too squishy. And the characters that are in this meta are just really too strong. Kiriko, Lucio, Wu Yang are pretty much what you're going to see a lot. Ana is always tried and tested. So most of the time they're going to be picking those things. I would suspect they're probably going to ban like a Reaper. So it looks like they're trying to ban a Reaper. I would suspect this is probably going to be a Junker Queen or Malga or a very tank that wants to get in. I can take that. It could be a protection ban, but I think that's more just to get through and start punching through. I think Ramantra might be a good pick. He's strong, self-sustains, keeps his life going, and I just see that as possibly what they're going to go through.
Not only is it big and strong and self-sustains, but also it's a big hitbox too.
Yeah,
And you have to work with the Reaper to absorb all those Hellfire shotgun shells from it, and all of a sudden you're feeling a lot better. So maybe we'll see the Omnic bring forth liberation from the Mortal Coil to the enemy team. Subsun now on top of the bans. Still have quite the smorgasbord to look at, but I feel like oftentimes you don't see support bans come out firsthand. It's usually entered into that tank and damage slot. So we'll see if Subsun follow the pattern or if they decide to go off the beaten path.
yeah, you don't really see supports. Yeah, I'm surprised, not surprised Zarya gets banned. Zarya is really strong enabler for a lot of comps. She is so strong, especially on these point heavy maps where you have to come to her, and she allows a lot of her best matchups, which could be Reaper. Venture has seen a lot of representation lately in the meta. Very strong and very capable of making quick work of killing the squishies, killing your backline, because the second that Venture goes down burrows, they can go in, do some damage, you bubble them, they come back out, and you can't really kill them. You have to bump a lot of resources. They can take out a lot of resources, get out a lot of cooldown, and then they can come back, and then you can keep enabling. Now, this is where you come to strength. Is that who you're gonna come with it? You could get Ramantra, you get Malga, you can get Diva to a certain extent, but I would suspect this is going to be very brawl heavy. The meta favors brawl. The meta really favors going in and sustain, and just hunker for your tank. As opposed to DPS, you need to be bursting. So a lot of characters like Freya can be very, very disgusting in this meta. Sojourn still, as always, just gonna stay strong in this. Stay strong, tested. She's gonna stay strong. Venture, as I said earlier, is gonna come through, and you just gotta make sure you gotta get plays. It's gonna be a lot of flanks. There's gonna be a lot of maneuvering, and we're gonna see supports and the DPSs have to make the plays. They're gonna have to keep their tank alive because the second this tank goes down, they gotta fall back.
And we're also going to see the lineups here coming through. Primordius rising, rise to the occasion. It's Soar, XQS, Galaxy on the DPS. Cap and Crunch, leading by example. Love to see some serial representation. My favorite type of cereals, but no Crunch Berries to be mentioned, which is a bit unfortunate. Subsun coming with their lineup as well. Maple Ruby, M21X, DBRX, and HMO8. Now, I'm not. Oh, man, I wish I brushed on my Pokemon knowledge. HMO8, is that Surf? Surely it's not Surf. Cut? I gotta look this up, man.
Not a Pokemon expert, but I'm definitely more interested in what they're trying to field it's posted a Junker Queen. Now let's say this is how they're gonna line up. Let's just say this is what they're gonna run. Let's just say this is how they're gonna run. I am Brian isn't in the strongest spot right now. Yeah, I know they're not. Yeah, they're just picking random heroes. But even if they
Lifeweaver meta.
wanted to do anything, Lifeweaver not strong enough. He
Dang
would
it.
get die. Wu Yang is still, even with all the nerfs to Wu Yang, he's still strong. Kiriko, even with the alt nerf, 8% alt nerf, yeah, you'll feel it, but like even when we see in pro play and just in comp or in any CGL team, Kiriko still makes a lot of work. She does a lot of damage and she could provide a lot of healing. I would suspect I would see a lot of Lucio. Lucio is the best enabler in the game right now. It used to be Juno, but then she got nerfed to oblivion and they are slightly buffing her up, but she needs more help. She needs more help in order to compete with that slot that Lucio contains. So I would suspect that we're going to see a really broad heavy team, and the first fight is going to dictate the pace of this. So prepare for a little bit of a drawn out fight in the beginning, and then we'll see how the comp goes.
Prepare for some nice B-roll footage, courtesy there of Reclaimer, our odds alongside Time Delight. Make sure to thank production once again for bringing the action. Primordius rising, Subsun. We'll see if they've got the occasion to blaze forth like the namesake, or if they get extinguished like a lunar eclipse. You should be an expert in that one at the very least. Nonetheless, compositions certainly brawl heavy. Like you mentioned, we're seeing the Balgon on one side, Ramatra on the other.
Yeah, it looks like they switched to Junker Queen. I'm not surprised. Junker Queen she's still good. I'm just surprised you don't see Ramatra like this, like Captain Crunch does. This is what happens with the Queen. You're gonna take the point, you're gonna contest, and you're gonna let Ramatra just sit there and just deny all the space. Looks like we see something. Yeah, Symmetra is gonna come in here. She's gonna do a lot of 2P. So when the tank wants to go in, they're gonna make a trick move and they're gonna try to kill one of the switches or someone's on the flank.
I'm looking for Maple to be one of the shot callers there, and also shot landers. That railgun pump sword, but not gonna one. That there can be so useful. Keep them alive, of course. Not gonna have one that comes up to kill. That's never on the tries to beat down to Lucio some. Doesn't seem like he brought enough to stay up for a bit longer. No first blood drawn quite yet. The Primordius will still have the point. Courtesy that Ramatra takeover, like you mentioned. Have to throw the disc to keep himself safe and make sure that Maple cannot say the same. HMOH down as well. So that will be the trade on the fight so far. In favor of Primordius rising. A big cleave though. Cannot find the kill. PBRX instead finishes it off.
Yeah, they took a little bit too long to get to the point, but they do contain it. I felt like the Jungle Queen did a lot of work. They just didn't get enough of the kills to prioritize getting this foot set. Now, could they do this again? I do believe so. Symmetra is still enable a lot, but she does require a little bit of finessing. She has a weird hitbox. She can be hard to kill, but then she's also explodes. So Ramatra is definitely going to take time to get her 2P. It looks like they want to go in. I like the shield from my Ramatra, but this is not going to end well. They're going to have to retreat.
Instant disc going to answer back. The attempt from the rampage, or rather the cleave there from the Jungle Queen. Sword takes down their body double. Here does come the rampage. Does manage to land on the tank, but where's your follow-up is the question. Annihilation tries to deny them space, but S21 denies Suzuku their life as they rock in the sky with his exo boots. Captain Crunch quickly responds back with the left hook and drops the tank just so. 80% uncontested by Primordius.
Yeah, so they tried, so I see the vision that they wanted to have. They wanted to go in there, make a fight, make a statement, and then just try to look around and try to get a contest. But Ramatra answered very quickly, and then they got the early pick from Primordius. Primordius gets the early pick on the third going. Nice trade. Now they're going to the overclock and the angle, but they're not do in response.
Sound barrier does come out from GRX, but they're just going to see the point. Sword does go down. That's already a solid pick there. Primordius don't want to waste too much, but the window does come out here. 99% has been gained, so Primordius rising. He's going to have to let this one go as they all begin to drop in earnest. Finally, a fight won by Subsun, but it cost them major ultimates. Only that Kitsune charge going to be left in the tank.
Yeah, that's all they have is right now is just a little bit of time. Now, they do concede the point, but it's 99 to 13%. They just need one good fight win. They do have overclock, and Subsun does have Kitsune, so we'll see what type of how they're gonna change this. But most defensive Kitsune to override this team, this is gonna be tough.
Kitsune opens out from HM08. Not to reduce the rest of the team. Sword keeps that ult in check, but as the top once they gain back high ground. No window to boost them up. It's going to come down to raw damage alone, or maybe just forcing them back with positioning. As Subsun begin to melt away from the objective and out of the sight line of these encroaching DPS. Galaxy, though, can finish him off. Smokes out the rats inside their crevices. Guns down Ruby as well for added panache. 3 members for 1. A worthy trade if you're a Primordius Rising fan, as more members of Subsun begin falling into the grave. Only the tank remains alive, but quickly the treads are torn off. Tracer and Lucio can manage to get a retouch. An amazing pulse bomb. Last spec back to Kingdom Come, but Galaxy once again humbles their twin. Ruby in the rough, and Lucio in the dirt once more. Primordius Rising take the first round.
Yeah, good job from Primordius Rising. I did love the Ryan comp. The Junker Queen comp was working. It has worked. But you gotta burn Immort first, because they used Immort as soon as Junker Queen used their ult. So they were able to still survive the burning time away from Rampage being any use. Anytime they got Rampage go off, everyone was low, but nobody was getting finished. Nobody was getting the final kills. And even if they did, they got traded. So all the ults and all the work they did got counteracted. And then Ramatsu just stayed on point and just kept living.
I think the issue was that at that moment, if I'm not mistaken, M21 was the only one with ultimate from Subsun, whereas Primordius Rising, once the tank had ultimate, you had 2 members of the team that were ready to back you up. That just goes to show that M21 is really leading by example. The rest of the DPS need to be able to find their own individual picks. They need to be able to act with their own agency. See M21 again leaves the fray, war cry in hand, but can you find any kills? Not unless your DPS do their gosh darn job. Ruby says, I clocked into work, and Spec's going to be punching out. They're the first one gone.
Good early pink onto the Lucio. That is exactly how you want to do it. Now, they do get a trade, and this is starting to come bad, because this is the immortality. That actual immort is just here.
Fortunately, not for enough time. Does not manage to get that health pack. No one denies that healing. Suka and Captain Crunch, but Sora comes right back with a roaring 2K. Instantly answers that one back. HM808 going to go down as well. And Tracer, recall out, no friends left. Galaxy sends him to space. An easy take, despite Subsun winning that first fight. Primordius Rising the first ones to point.
It's surprising. They really had the numbers, and they had all the advantages they want to have, but they just couldn't seal the deal. They took a little bit too much time to get the kills, and now they lost their tank, and then Sword just being able to just absolutely just take over the lobby with Roser and absolutely doing great work. That's how you want your DPS to play. Absolutely being an absolute minute.
Really good war cry there from M21. Keeps the low health members safe. Galaxy's the first one to fall. Overclock is going to be the response, but no one is peeking out. Thor tries to duck around the left side. Maybe find the tank. No dice instead. Suzuki rolled over. Ruby does get punched in the face, left in the stray, so Rampage ready. M21, not necessary. Blasts away Captain Crunch with one more shot from the blunderbuss. Galaxy though does take down DPR. It's an extended fight. Subsun will get the better hand at the point. The question is, how long can they keep?
Well, they did pretty good. You're almost at halfway. They're kind of staggering themselves a little bit. You gotta get out. They're still fighting. I can't believe they're still fighting. I thought this was over. I thought they were retreat, but they used tidal waves, but they don't get anyone from it. I think that was maybe a misinput because there was no one around. But they do be able to get the Reaper point back. I'm just surprised they were able to get the Junker Queen. I figured everybody was with her, but she was all on her own.
How many times have we seen that so far, Lunar? We're again M21 leading by example, but now with the rest of the squad, the war cry comes out. Kitsune charges well, an instant lamp is a response, but Suzuki gets pushed out of it. The Rampage instantly destroys the piece of furniture, but the rest of the team gets absolutely mollywopped. Sorks is gonna be the one who falls in trade, but that is a price we are all too willing to pay. The Voracious Vortex gobbles up the remnants of M21X's soul. It's a team kill from Primordius Rising.
I mean, great job from Source. They're able to just absolutely get, what, 2 or 3 picks out of that team fight. Definitely has been a stapling factor of this team. But Subsun, you gotta make some big plays because they get the parts. They get the fight they wanted. They get everything they wanted to go. but then they just never get the final blow. They get traded, and then the trades go all in advantage of them.
Speaking of trades we're seeing here, not in favor of Subsun once again. HM08 takes a dive off the stage, and 21X will go down as well. Captain,
Oh, no.
make sure that Maple walks the plank, and it's an easy map one secure for Primordius Rising.
Yes, they had B. I'm surprised I didn't hear B go out. You know, I figured when Mantras, when they were going to go to point, they were going to beat into it. When they were going to see they were going to go all in, but no B. They used Kitsune into window, which Kitsune is powerful, but they just didn't have any follow-up. They had no way to get through. They have opportunities where they break the line, but then someone dies immediately. Someone just gets picked off early. Source gets like 2 or 3 kills in a fight every single time. Every time they get his ability, they just get absolutely crushed on the DPS side. And though this is what's going to happen, they're going to have to make some adjustments. They're going to have to make some plays. They've been doing everything almost right. They get through, they get their place, they get the ults, they hit like 2 or 3 people per carnage, yet the BAP immortality is still in play. Then they have to destroy that. Then Beat comes out. Then at that point, they trade. You know, they for Substance they get like 2 picks, and then like the DPS trades and gets like 3 picks on Primordius. It's just been a kind of like a back and forth tale. Like both times on both rounds, you saw the same story over and over and over again. So they were getting success. They just couldn't get the finish line, and every single time they got a chance to do it, it just got canceled. And for credit to Primordius, making sure they made sure they stemmed the bleeding. Even when they lost the point, that all they did was just contest, and they had their ults ready. So as much as I love the Junker Queen, and I think Junker Queen was doing great, I think the rest of the team just needs to just work with their tank and just go all in. When your tank wants to go all in, you go all in. You just head first. Because if we're all gonna die, we might as well die at the same time. And I'm at
Yeah,
one point the Junker Queen was ahead, and I was expecting her to have backup or at least have a support or another DPS that was be able to contest an air, but they were able to just have three Primordius team. They just came around and just killed her. I was very surprised that she was on her own. And I don't know if there was a lack of communication. Maybe there was a miscommunication on like where we were gonna set up because they had to set up. They I like the look they had. They were gonna be able to set up as soon as they cut through this choke, they were gonna shout, fight, and then just keep barricading. They were gonna make them use all their cooldowns, maybe pop out an ult or two. But unfortunately, the Jungle Queen dies, and then they had to retreat because Ramattra just comes in. They got they have Lucio, they have speed, and they just went all in.
well, funnily enough, despite the unfortunate performance it put up, New Junk City will be the venue where we'll be hosting the memorial service for that Junker Queen we saw prior, carried back to the mausoleum where she will be buried forever entombed. May she rest in peace. Subsun, gonna be having first ban here this time around, and you ask what character's a problem character, it's that Sojourn, I think. I think you've got to get Sorks off that character. I think they played it beautifully. Ruby gave it a good effort, but we talked about it at the very beginning, right? Lunar, we said we're looking for this Sojourn to be the primary shot caller, shot maker, shot lander. And on one side, they were firing on every cylinder. On the other side, they were shooting blanks.
Yeah, the Sojourn was like I said, Sojourn is very, very powerful. They had opportunities. It's just the Sojourn on Primordius was just making plays. And that's the difference. That was the key difference. They were able to make plays, they were gonna shut down everything. And so you have to ban the Sojourn or Ramatra. I would take it either one.
Sure, I'm mad at that.
I'm not mad at it. I That's a good ban. It was my second ban. I probably would have gone Sojourn first. But banning Ramatra is also great because being New Junk City, it's very small. Where the point is, a lot of areas are very small, and Ramatra prefers it that way. So, it in theory, it sounds great. We'll just have to see in practice how it works out.
Mortis Rising. Gonna be on the second ban.
But on the
I
other
don't
side
really
of
see
I think,
I don't see Lunar. What do you think they're gonna look for here? Because like, was anything really causing them much trouble? I struggle to imagine.
I mean, you can't ban a tank because they already banned a tank. So who do you go on a DPS and support route? Well, I don't see anything on the support route that I could legitimately ban. So I guess I would ban. Well, I got rid of my Ramattra. Maybe Venture. Venture's strong on this map. I didn't see anyone play Genji, so I don't think we'll see Genji. Tracer. Would you ban Tracer? I just, it's just a weird conflict. We've got
Okay.
Lucio. That's I. It's I don't know. I feel like Lucio is just such an important character for both teams. That's that's a hard cap. That's a hard cap. But what am I feeling? They're going to be able to play the Junker Queen, and they don't have to worry about beat. They don't have to worry about Ramattra just being able to run around or get their team to different places so quickly. Now you are standing still. Now you get to play into their strengths, subset strengths. Now, what can they do about that? Well, you still have Kiriko, so Kiriko's still in play. So that's a thing. But who's gonna be their counteract? You bring Wu Yang. Wu Yang's a good kind of decent option. He's still been nerfed, but I think that will be just good enough for what they need for this upcoming match. So no substitutions. We're gonna put with the same characters. And I think this is how we're going to see the matchup. I think we're going to still see the Junker Queen still play out here. But now they're going to be able to just absolutely take advantage because now there's only one other character that has a lot of speed, and that's Juno. But I would not play Juno into this. Juno will die. Juno will explode. So you just have to bring. I've seen Brig be used around here, but I wouldn't like it against Junker Queen because she'll kill her. You could bring Wu Yang. I think that's a good matchup. Ana would be absolutely good here if you can make it work. You just gotta be careful and position well. BAP is still a good option. You just gotta play good corners. But I'm feeling a little bit of the Wu Yang is probably gonna be a better option overall. Just be able to poke and then you can like bubble. You can get away from her when she shouts. The TP, the teleport that we see from Sunset, they're going to just march it. Yeah, this is up. Oh, they're going straight brawling. This is just going brawling on Subset's team.
Meanwhile, here I'm just wondering, what's that green liquid taste like? Gamer was observing earlier. You know?
Yeah.
It's like limeade. You think it's like green apple flavor? We'll find out right now. The flavor, the Primordius Rising trying to deal out pain at the Zarya here on Captain Front. And then 21X once again, like you mentioned, turns that Junker Queen. Though Maple is on the ritual being banned prior. That feels good. The question is, can it shoot these bubbles? Capacity here for Sorts. Keep an eye out for this BPS player. It's been dangerous so far, and the question really is going to be, can they mark this Tracer as well? Galaxy might be the one who's got to do it too, but Ruby already taking out Captain Sprint for a quick first blood. Sorts and Galaxy combined for another two. Before Cassidy falls. Spec goes down there to the cleave from the 21X. So far, not too shabby a fight for Subsun.
Oh man, this is a good start. I know in the beginning there were some trades, but this was all good. You saw the much pressure they put onto the Zarya, just absolutely unrelenting. A little bit sad that they did lose Maple, but Reaper, you can come back a little bit faster than your usual DPS, so it does take a little bit of time. But he is going to be an absolute beast on this map, though. He gets to just absolutely feast on people. He's going to be able to get the bubbles. You protect your Reaper, you let them go in, and then they escape, and they come back, and they just go back in again.
Suzu used that hasty retreat. Ruby, unfortunately, the body left behind. BRX goes down as well. I was just about to say, I actually do really like the Brigida here with this composition. Can dive with that Junker Queen, make sure she's not left by her lonesome, but unfortunately, she's instead of reunited with her friends in the afterlife. Really solid retake there from Primordius Rising. But still being heavily contested, 75% up to Subsun. It does seem like Maple's going to have to leave it alone as finally we get the first picks up in blue.
This is actually pretty good for Subsun. You know, they got to 77%, that's pretty good. You're going to be able to get a lot going on. Look at the ult economy from both teams. It's pretty much going to be an ult dump. Maple's the only one that's lagging behind. So we push the first. We're going to try to get through.
Oh,
nice!
Graviton comes
Nice
through
grab.
and already
Oh my God.
absolute destruction! Look at the fireworks! Galaxy! An absolute massacre grabs everyone save for Maple, but we're gonna turn that sucker into syrup for another team kill, courtesy of Rising.
Holy crap, we're going back to day 1 of Overwatch 2. What is this? We're going back to the OG days. Going back to grab, post bomb, we're gonna get grab, dragon, strike. What is this? We're just getting all of the OG matchups. That was a beautiful play, beautiful counter against the Casino Rush. So now, this is all for Subsun because now they got the whole ability.
Rally to me, Rampage ready as well. The pulse bomb, can you match Ruby? Can you fill those grand shoes left for you? Maple certainly can't, they're dead. Ruby gonna be lefting those Ruby slippers. Leave them to Dorothy instead. You certainly can't fill when Galaxy's on the prowl. M21X tries to put up a last stand, but all their joy from those first few fights turned to ashes in their mouth. A Suzu used and a poor Kiriko abused. First flashpoint goes to Primordius Rising.
It was a good attempt. I like the jungle queen ult, but I wish she picked a different target. Zarya was getting another bubble, and that flensed her ability. Maple's been having a little bit of struggles trying to get their ult. It's been going to the second point. They're just about to get their first ult. And we're about to see on the other side of Primordius, their DPS is about to go to the second rotation of ult. This is not the pace that you wanted your Subsun, but it's a long fight. You still have another chance. You can get opportunities. You just gotta make sure to just get through it. I think if they had a Zarya with the Reaper, it would be much easier for the Reaper to get plays.
Warcry comes through. Maple, as the ultimate gets to wait to use it a bit longer, Suzuki takes them down. He retreats back, but Spec drops him. HM088 also on the kill board. Without the ultimates being expended as well, it just feels rough when it seems like Primordius Rising just get more done with less. They'll take the point and begin on ticking.
Yes, but now we see the ult economy is starting to swing all in favor of Primordius. What they're gonna do now? We got 2 ults. They both are gonna be DPS and ults. Blue Yang is cut up on their ult, but it's not gonna matter too much right now. We do see the switch up to Zarya on Subsun, which I am beautifully agreeing with. You allow your DPS to get in, you allow them to make plays, you allow your DPS to just literally just become a monster, and you allow to kill pretty much the cast. You kill the cast and you try to kill the cast possible.
Blossom incoming. That's the bubble as well. Manages to drop down and take down Swords, but it's only a trade. Not quite the beautiful flower you're looking for, though. Ruby does find a nice stick on Suzuka, and the Graviton comes right on back. Unfortunately, that means trouble for Subsun as 2 members go down. Zarya will quickly follow it up. Galaxy and Captain Crunch are just a match made in heaven. Any resistance put up by Subsun quickly stomped underfoot.
Primordius still has their 2 DPS ults. This is not looking good. They still have their ults, and they kind of get to the second point. They're about to go on this map point victory right here. They can win it right here, but that's not good. This is not the way that you want to go if you're Subsun. You make a swap, you make plays, but you're not being able to capitalize on it. The Reaper gets a pick, but then it's dying. But I like to trade the cast. This is beautiful.
Dear God, these claustrophobic corners, just an absolute playpen for Captain Crunch to begin the slaughter. Deserters will meet the axe. Anyone will meet the axe. This captain holds no mercies for any landlubbers on their ship. Spec finishes off Ruby to spare them a similar fate. And the point will now open up. Mortis Rising have priority.
I wish Subsun would got at least 1 ult out of Primordius, but unfortunately they weren't able to do that before the cap came in. This is not the pace that is going to win, but I do love the story of Kitsune. Now, matching Kitsune, unfortunately, Primordius does lose their Kiriko, and now it's just being traded. Both supports are just going to go down, except for Subsun, Kiriko.
Shabby sweeps up Maple as well. Source has all the positioning, all the damage necessary, but leaves the Galaxy to finish the job instead. It's another team kill. A bit less flashy, but the same end result. 5 bodies dead for Subsun, and Primordius Rising at a percent. Ever more rising to that 100% benchmark.
I would love for Primordius' DPS to use their ult at some point. We're about to go through a whole
unnecessary.
map and we have never used an ult. That's either a really good sign of things to come, or man, this is not going so well. Now, on the front of Subsun, you do have matching grabs. You do have Grab
use.
This is what I'm talking about.
What can you get from it? rally comes out. Captain Crunch responds with a grab of their own like, and no bodies on the floor. Here comes the High Noon, drops down Ruby, and quickly backpedals away from that unfortunately wayward pulse bomb. Captain Crunch M21 trade out Zarya's lives. Galaxy goes down, and High Noon, psych, it gets dark early here, suckers. Set your clocks to daylight savings and save yourself the trouble. Map 2 goes to Rising.
Oof, and that was Subsun's map. That was their preferred map. That's their type of matchup they wanted. They got rid of the Sojourn. They got rid of the Lucia was gone. They had all of the factors to get them through. The Reaper play wasn't just it. Reaper needs a bubble. Reaper is not as survivable as usually stated in your top matches or these team plays. Reaper can't be killed because everyone's watching. Everybody knows the TP's coming. And it was very telegraphed. Everybody just waited for the TP. They knew this person had Blossom. Maple wanted to use Blossom, but just had no opportunities because who would you Blossom? Even if you got a Blossom off, and we did see it, they got 1 kill. They immediately got traded. It was immediately a trade.
Yep.
And just things did not go so well. But I just don't know what's going on. But it's just hard. It's just a hard matchup. It was just everything was going well. The first point, it looked good. Subset was doing good.
Yeah.
They were doing great. I liked the way they did it. I love the way that they were pushing. They were getting plays. Their Jungle Queen was just absolutely feasting. But then their Pac-Man got traded by the Zarya. And then the Zarya didn't die. The Zarya was at 100% charge at almost every single time we checked her. She was at 100% charge. I think she died, what, twice? I don't think she died a lot of times.
Yeah.
And the DPSs on Primordius were absolutely phenomenal. Absolutely clean. They kept their ults until literally the last fight of the last point. That is either you just know that you just have a psychological advantage over your opponent, and now you have the map in your hands. Now what do? Well, we just did everything. You banned, Sojourn. We went to cast and we just won. We went to this rotation, we won. We went through this and we won. What do you do now? Well, you could ban Kiri. Kiri's a good ban option, but then the Zarya still is in here. You already banned Zarya. You can't ban her twice. So what are you gonna do next? They're gonna ban Junker Queen. That's what I would do on Primordius. I just ban Junker Queen next. And it's just been a very, very it's been a very tough matchup for Subsun. But I think they can still make a play. I still think they can make a matchup. I think they can make a opportunity to make a reverse sweep, but it's just gonna have to start with one option at a time. They gotta win team fights and they gotta win them cleanly. That's the thing. They need to win clean team fights. And that is where Primordius is getting advantage. They're getting the trades and they're getting advantage of.
Yeah, I mean, it's just rough looks, right? You wanted that map, you wanted that scenario. You couldn't find it. It's just truly tragic. We do have the next venue. It's going to be coming in for Circuit Royale. So we'll see if that ends up being any better, a bit more mobile. But in terms of the grander landscape, again, that CGL Cinematic Universe, we do have some updates for y'all there as well. It does seem like Boop Trook and Zodiac's loser is 2 games away from this winner. Ooh, interesting stuff here. You look across the board. What do we see? It's that Boop Troop up 1-0. Let's see if they can continue that action. We already know what happened with the Aura Farmers. They're up as well. But in terms of the bracket before us right now, you can see the almighty stakes that live before us tarnished. Looking to see their record untarnished, but a 3-0 victory, Primordius Rising can get that same momentum. Would be absolutely fantastic to face that opponent with that same sweep mojo.
Yes, it's been a great turn. Look at the bracket. If you're tarnished, you're looking at this matchup and you're just watching to see what their strengths are. You're looking at see how they play, whichever ones they're going to pick. But we'll have to go back. We'll talk about that later when we get to it. But right now, we're talking about the bans. We're still in this matchup. They're still fighting and they're still playing. Now, Subsun, who do you ban? Well, you got a couple options. You could ban Freya. You could ban Soldier. You could ban Soldier. Not really. You could ban Cass. Cass is strong here. Ash can be a
Could be
little
the
bit
Tracer.
dangerous. Tracer, Tracer is dangerous, and she can be
Galaxy's
very.
dangerous.
Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to think of Tracer is dangerous, but who was doing the most damage? And I would say it was definitely Cass or the Surgeon Pig. I think they already banned Sojourn already.
Nah, they banned Ramatra last game
Oh,
round.
that's right.
So
That's right.
Ramatra is taking out Sojourn now. That pillar of offense. No more option there for Sorks. I'm just still scared. We saw the 4K all day come out from Galaxy on that Pulse Bomb. I don't know. I don't think you're winning this Tracer, Ditto. We just haven't seen it go well for Ruby since the inception of the series. Maybe, just maybe, Circuit Royale is where we could see that grand turnaround, but we'll find out. It very well could be the last lap, the victory lap here from Primordius Rising. I'd like to see who they want to take off the board.
I would suspect they're probably going to take out Wu Yang. That's what I would take out. Wu Yang's strong on this map. Wu Yang can just poke from far away. Wu Yang's powerful in this matchup. I would take away Ana. Ana could be very dangerous. Ana with the long sight lines. I mean, if you're Primordius, I mean, you could get rid of Junker Queen, but she's not really effective on this matchup because there's such a long lane. Iliari, interesting man. I actually like it. Iliari can provide a lot of support and a lot of healing, but I just feel like the other options can be a little bit more devastating unless there was something that they saw. But I just think that Iliari just isn't as strong currently, and especially in Circle Royale. But hey, it could work. It gets rid of a long range poke option that they have. You don't have to worry about Pylon. Pylon's gone, so that's another support effect that you don't have to worry about. And so now you're gonna run down what I would mention as a comp is Ramatra still. Matra's still a good comp even Circle Royale. Used to be
Yep.
Sigma map. Used to be Sigma only. But with the addition of tanks getting a little bit stronger, Sigma is starting to get a little bit of a not nerf, but he's just favoring out on these long ranges, and with the map reworks, allowing more opportunities for other tanks and other characters that aren't just snipers, long range hit scanning characters. They are now able to now use a diverse pool. How I would use this, Ramatra, and you just shield off. Sigma can be good here. I mean, Sigma's still good. Just got a little bit more work to do, but Sigma can work still. If you're DPS, Freya's strong. If you feel like you're good with Freya, Freya can dominate because you have a bunch of buildings. You can go up high, peek over, dump a bunch of arrows, and peek out, and you don't have to worry about retaliation. Cass is also a strong option here. Ash is also a very good, strong option here. Anyone who has good long distance poke is what you're going to use, along with maybe a Tracer if they're comfortable, maybe a Genji a little bit, but definitely you're going to see Tracer a lot. And that's what I would expect that's the lineup we're going to see so far.
I'm not surprised to see the Ilari ban come through in the sense that Primordius Rising don't really have to worry about anything that Subsun's thrown at them, right? So what do we fear? What are we afraid of? The unknown. That makes sense. And Subsun, even if they get those more powerful tools, it just feels like Primordius Rising can use those same tools better, more efficiently, more lethally. But you see the lineup there from Subsun. You see the head-to-head of these two juggernauts trying to battle their way through this lower bracket. Only one team can leave a champion, though, and only one team can leave with their heads hung in shame, booted right back out of the season. Once again, Reclaimer as well. It's time to light your almighty eyes in the sky. Lunar and Dilo here behind the mics, you watching at home, as Subsun try to find their way to dig in their heels and get that reverse sweep going.
Yes, this is the beginning. This is where you start. This is either we end the season of Subsuns, their journey ends here, or we go to a map 4. Either way, this is going to be pivotal. Like I said, love my Sigma. Love Sigma. Sigma's such an honest character, honest hero. Just beautiful design. He's just so great. Unless he was day 1, where he was in Overwatch 1, where he was absolutely broken. But other than that, he has been beautiful. Absolutely great character, phenomenal. This is his type of map. Poke, he can get long sight lines, and I'd like to see what they can do. Is that a Junkrat? I am shocked to see a Junkrat.
Use the junk against them, Obi-Wan said, and they will apply. Galaxy no longer on the Tracer. Said to get I respect that. Unfortunately, Sigma does not. Ruby snipes the rat out of the sky. Can't absorb this lightning though, buddy. Could be trouble. Captain Crunch punches at 21 right back into oblivion.
Oh, I
We're
love
back
what
so
I'm
far,
seeing
great.
from this. I love this. This is beautiful. I'm sorry, Cutter, but I just had to talk. That was a beautiful play. That was a beautiful dive in from Captain Crunch. That was beautiful. Immediately killed Sigma. Shows the one glare weakness with Sigma, and that is Monkey. Look at Monkey just dive in, putting pressure on this kid. This is crazy. I love it. What a great play. Oh my goodness, I love that.
It's worth noting Subsun did actually sub out HM08, which is a fun fact. Pokemon move Dive. Now it's Antalin, so you no longer learn Dive. This Pokemon cannot learn this move, but you know who can? A Winston. Surely can. Captain Crunch going to be leading the foray with that. Ruby does have already a red available, and will decide to use it. Forces Sorks back just a little bit longer to ensure safety. Lamp has been topped by Suzuka. Opens up the door for Ruby to try take him down, but that corner peak completely ensured safety thanks to a really well placed Lamp there. Bap keeps the team up on top.
Yeah, this is a great play. Now you see the poking angle. They're trying to get a setup. Primordius is trying to get an angle. I love the way they want to use it. They had to get the ball, but now they get to use the window. Bob comes in. They're trying to get through this point. And they're going to be able to a little bit. Yeah, that's a good pick on to the back on the side of Subsun. And now they're going to face the way to the story.
Hold on. Flux comes through. Ruby snipes out Spectre in the sky. Lifeweaver meta indeed. No, it seems to have silenced that idea alongside the support. Sorks gets rocked right back into base. And Captain Crunch continues to stage their dive. Does take down two members so far. Sigma in trouble. The accretion will blast the Winston back for a bit longer. They have placed down maybe a bit too preemptively. We'd like to see that save for a bit longer. That's A-okay. We're going primal in the back line. M21 will pay for it, as now the first checkpoint is secured by Primordius Rising.
I know they killed the Sigma in the end, but he was going to get forced off the point anyway at some point. I mean, Prime was just going to knock him out. They only had less than a meter to go. The second they swipe him off, they had no chance. But realistically, that was a little bit of a good fight. I like the fight from Subsun. Unfortunately, just couldn't get played. My man is just Captain Crunch was just dealing onto the Winston. Now they're going to mirror the Sigma.
21. Doing a good job all series. Getting that charge. Bob comes through, grinds through the bubble to ensure that they can try to get some damage off, but where's the damage to be found? Going from Primordius. Their head's nice and tucked. Infrared does come through. We'll find a head to question. Like, now Rockin' the Ditto says, I can do better. I can do anything better than you. And so far, there's good reason to believe so. Sorks sings the same tune, Maple, tune of death, funeral hymn as they go down once more. Ruby trying to prove their own valor in battle, but Galaxy snipes them out. Every Ditto in this Pokemon battle just results in a victory for Primordius.
This is absolutely insane. This is just rolling through. They're just getting through the flow. Every time they get into a fight, it just feels like Primordius just feels so much more confident. They feel more confident in their ability to make plays. They feel more confident just being able to do their will. They want to just make plays. They're absolutely just being absolutely dominant, even in the mirror.
Well, it's just because Lunar, to put it bluntly, they are better with their trigger display, they're better with their aim, and they are better at hitting these picks without needing to speed brand defensives. Necessary, just individual picks, independent plays. Primordius all day. Subsun, coming off the day end. Not just yet, but Maple on a Galaxy. Be the anchor they need to start hope for this team. The Emperors of Revolt still remain alive, just gotta keep the fire burning.
Oh my goodness, this is, I gotta talk about it for a second, because this is dangerous. This is dangerous on the side of Primordius. Never mind, I was gonna say it was gonna be dangerous, but never mind, it just made me shut up.
A lamp and a window is all you need. Some good interior decorating is the key to all victories. Captain Crunch, though, comes sweeping in with Gravitic Flux and just punches the daylights out of everyone on the side of Subsun who stands against them. The last few meters now being secured as Primordius Rising are able to take down Maple, drop the bomb on down. One Gravity Flux, though, does lift off point. Two painstaking meters still left, but instantly, that Revolt's going to be murdered in its grip. And Primordius Rising with a fantastic flourish of a team kill are able to secure that third point.
It was a good fight. I thought when I saw the alt economy, I saw the two support alts, and I was like, they can chain them. They can use one support alt, make them walk back, make Primordius feel a little bit back. Then you can use the next alt whenever they use Bob or whenever they use another, when they use Flux, they can just stun him out when Time Crunch was going to use Flux. Unfortunately, they never got opportunities. They never got opportunities, and they used both the support alts. And then you just see the kill feed. It's just Primordius just wipe. And then from there, it's just been a strong stranglehold. They got through the first point. The first point was pretty good for Subsun. And then after that, it's been like one stall, and then they just go through. A stall, and then they come through. This is where you gotta make adjustments. What do you run? Though you definitely gotta do something different. You can't just run the same lineup that you've always ran. So you gotta come up with some strategy. Clearly, you thought the Sigma was gonna work, and then Time Crunch decided to just mirror it and just run through it. Winston was their Brian Trotter. I can tell Time Crunch loves Winston because that is good angles on a Winston. Now, if you're Subsun, who do you run with? Lucio, Wu Yang? I'm not too sure I like this because who are we going to enable, as I thought? Let's go with Kiriko. Kiriko is going to be good. We can fly kunais, we can get our ult with guys, we can get Kusine, and then we can rush down Sigma.
Eva. Fine here. Gatewatch is looking at that tank pull worth noting. I'm 21x now. Yes, instead. And not really suited for the role, it seems, so far. If anything, Maple, though, playing like a true DPS main, dives in for the kill, takes down Suzuka. He gets popped back into Diva, baby form, and then it's going to be an instant homicide. All right, so we see the adjustments, but are we going to see different results? The question. You mentioned the fact that we're counting check marks, counting ult economy. I gotta tell you, man, they can have as many check marks as you want. Unless you're able to actually land those ultimates at the right time on the right targets, it's not gonna mean squat.
Yeah, I mean, they got a good pick. I like what they did. I like what Maple did to go against Suzuka. But then you just see Venture on the side just kills Ruby, and then he's just gonna drill away with the berry up.
Oh! Bust through anti-alien like the Kool-Aid man. Like you said, no one's covering that angle. No one's covering that flank. Galaxy makes a 3K out of it and instantly stomps out what started off to be a really great push. One member, Tracer, Venture, does not matter. Death is coming for you if Galaxy's got their name on it.
All right, we'll bring out the Roadhog. Oh, we bring out some hooks. We bring out this bad boy. We bring out the big love. All right, let's see what this does. I'm not the biggest fan of Roadhog in these types of matchups because he gets poked out really hard. Like that.
Yikes. That's just so rough to see. Title rounds out Maple, and 21x gets caught in the Riptide. Captain Crunch able to survive that hook attack. Again, target selection. Was Sigma really the one you wanted to look for there? Still not the squishiest. Ruby, though, unfortunately, I thought Ruby's supposed to be tough. That thing just got squished. Captain Crunch takes him out.
Wow. This is just becoming hard. This is getting hard to get through. Subsun's got to come up with a play. They got the Sigma. All right, they got a little bit too advantage. They're a little bit too strong. Roadhog has got to run away, but they're also going to be able to kill the. They're going to be able to kill. Now Subsun has the opportunity. They have a little bit of an opening. They've got to take this advantage. Sigma is very slow. So now they can be able to use Bob and go.
Nice.
Nice shot.
Great headshot there from the 21x. You do have Bob to stall for a bit of time, though. The legacy lives on. Subsun can finally begin to make some painstaking progress on this first point. Hook misses, but even if it did hit, again, physically you're bringing it back in. And a Gravity Flux coming for your head top. Kiriko does TP back up safety, but Roadhog's the real target. High Noon's going to be blocked there. High incoming barrier. Ruby will try to find the pick, will not succeed. Artillery strike comes through, and Nano will be plus down on top of Ruby's head top. Can you disassemble? The Omnic just yet? No. Bastion remains alive. The window popped down, and DBRX popped in the head by the opposing support. Torque switches over to the Widow, but only Widow going to be left Whoever's got stitched up to that bastion is Whole Hawk. Quickly disassembles them, turns that bot to scrap heaps.
Nice push away, nice use of the ult from Roadhog. I did love that. First gets a pig onto the Ana. That's a big source of the healing that's gonna be gone. And now they're gonna
What
be
a
able to
great
just
title!
up. They're gonna just be able to stall the point. They have less than 30 seconds, so they're on last fight territory. They gotta go. Someone's gotta be Lucio. They just gotta go.
Primordial
They
Rising
gotta
say,
move.
you guys gotta go out of this bracket. You got 10 seconds left to say something about it. The Hazard steps up, but the real Hazard's gonna be DBRX. Does take down Source with Kiriko. That means a lot. Who's marking Galaxy? That's what I'm looking for. And Talon certainly, and they're dead at their hand.
Touch?
Artillery form comes through and no one can touch, which means there is just no hope. Primordius Rising rise to the third round of lower bracket. Unfortunately, Subsun gets swept up.
Unfortunately, this is the end of the line for Subsun. Good job, good run through the lower bracket. Unfortunately, this is where you story. Unfortunately, at the end, as opposed to Primordius, you go on to face the next team. So, great job, GG's all around. But honestly, let's look about this in the game. Good job, Primordius. Great Winston. Great plays, great tanking, great picks all around. Able to just do absolutely just fantastic work. Able to just get early picks, they get the plays in, their DPS is literally, they didn't have to do or worry about a single thing at all. They were able to just play freely. They swapped up, I think they only played like, what, 4 DPS of that entire matchup.
Yep.
So that is a great strength when you can only have to use 4 different characters, because that means that, well, no matter what we ban, they have 3 other options that they're going to use. So I thought the bans overall were pretty good on both sides. I just think it was just down to the slight executions, the slight plays, the slight adjustments. They weren't able to make those quick adjustments at Subsun. They had picks. They had openings. They had opportunities to claw them out. I saw a couple of times where one of the DPSs or Count Crunch were a little bit too deep, and I thought they were going to corral on them. Instead, he gets to just walk away and just lives to see another day. So a lot of that just comes down to, I think it's a little bit of communication that they just got to work on. But overall, looking at Primordius, great job. You get 3-0. You didn't show a lot of gameplay. You didn't have to give your opponent any tape that they can look through and kind of sift through and see what your weaknesses are, and let's see what they can grab onto. The less you have to play, the better you can keep your secrets. That is the ultimate goal overall. If you're trying to win, this isn't just calm where you just queue next. This is a tournament. So there actually is some stakes for a lot of these players. And it just feels great that you get to get a good win. Good win, good fundamentals, absolutely clinical masterpiece from Primordius.
You talk about execution. I mean, we saw the Headman's Axe come out, and Primordius Rising let those heads roll, baby. Subsun, they can look back at the sun setting on their season run, but unfortunately ends here. And as far as our broadcast, the games to talk about goes, we're done here as well. Thank you all very much for watching CGL.
No,
And
real
oh wait,
quick.
hold on. Never mind. I'm lying. We're interviewing instead. Y'all want to see the plays? You can hear the voices as well. So stick around. We'll be talking to some of those executioners in just a bit.
Name straight, new wave.
Hello, everyone, and welcome on back to CGL Plat Action Lower Round 2 bracket. We just saw the end result. Subsun, unfortunately, gonna have their flame extinguished, but it doesn't mean we can't reflect and hear from the players themselves. Delo, Lunar here in the booth. Time to light your almighty eye in the sky. Reclaimer was behind those cams, and here in the booth with us, joining is gonna be that DPS of Maple. Welcome, my friend. How are we feeling?
Hello. Feeling a bit rough after that game.
Understandable, my friend. You know, hard losses, of course, just bring hard feelings in general. And in fact, we got to see a little bit. You're popping in the Twitch chat, and you seem to take a brunt of that responsibility upon yourself. So I want to ask you, as a competitive player, someone who I'm sure has plenty of battle damage, plenty of experience here, both on the winning side and the losers. You personally, as a player, what do you try to do to claw your way out of that mindset when you find yourselves in kind of a dizzying decline of the mental?
Um, it's kind of hard to get out of it, but I turn on music. I try and say some positive things to my team, make sure that everybody else is staying positive because it's not just me who has to get out of it. It's a whole team
Of course.
game. But just trying to keep everybody else positive, and if the vibe's good, the rest of us are good. Makes me feel better as well.
Well said.
Oh, yes, yes, Maple. I have a couple questions for you as well. One of my questions is during some of these band phases, how did you go about choosing the bands that you wanted?
We're a very mm, almost like a one-trick pony team. We have very set characters that we play, very small differentiations per map, and typically those tanks that we were banning kind of are hard to play into.
Mhm.
Per map it changes, but to start, a Zarya can just kind of shut down Queen Axe and just get charge off it. Then the rest of the tanks kind of just were based on feeling.
Yes, I noticed that a lot too, but a lot of times I saw there was some opportunities. There was a lot of plays. I feel like y'all did overall pretty well. It's just unfortunately just things just didn't go the way. But the real question I have is how overall did you feel like you played as an individual?
This map or this game, I mean,
Just the series, yeah, this series.
this series. Yeah.
Hmm.
Um, I didn't play well. I I uh I warmed up beforehand. I felt pretty confident. Went in really happy, thinking we could do this. It I don't know. I just wasn't hitting shots. I was positioning incorrectly. I wasn't common enough. I felt like I could have done much more, especially compared to what I've done in previous games. Even when things were looking low, I was able to almost get us a win against Boot Troop. Like some of those plays that I made almost completely won us a map on Saravasa. But today it just didn't feel like that.
Yep.
It's a
Do you
curse that
got any
belies us all.
questions?
Yes, of course. I got one last one to finish us out here, my friend, before I will let you return back to your team. So, looking towards the more positive side of things, because of course, with every loss comes some hard feelings, but also with every loss comes opportunities to learn. That's what the real big L stands for, is learning moment. What do you think your team's going to overall take away from today's series to make sure that the next time we see Subsun, they really do make sure to give us that comeback we are waiting for?
Hmm. Hmm. Uh, I think it comes down to me having to find more scrims. I've been sick the last week and a half, 2 weeks,
Dude, me too.
pretty much just it's been bad. Like,
It's rough.
um, I found us one scrim before our Boop Troop game, and my team compared my voice to if Reaper was whispering. It was not good.
Sorry. That's awesome.
It was it was I think a lot of it comes down to we just need to scrim a bit more. We had one scrim yesterday. It was pretty nice, but rest of the week I tried for a bit, but wasn't able to get much. I think we'll come back stronger. We'll hopefully be able to scrim more, and I think we're gonna be picking up new people to have more of a extra tank, different tanks to be able to play. You know
Yeah, deepen that pool a little bit more. I respect that, my
exactly.
friend. Well, nonetheless, even though it was a bit of a hard loss for your team, I do hope you guys are able to draw some important lessons from that and apply that to the future. Looking forward to seeing more Subsun and greater success from you and your team in more CGL seasons, my friend. Before you hop out,
Thank you.
any shout outs you want to give, anyone you want to give a special thanks to?
No one in particular, just everyone on my team. Everybody really, I mean, this whole season they've been wonderful, and they're the reason I actually stayed on Overwatch. Um, I'm really grateful for every single one of my players, everybody who's here this season, and hopefully for next season as well.
God knows this game sometimes tests our ability to stay loyal to Overwatch too. So I feel you there. A very good team player there, and also a very good sport of their own right. Maple, thank you very much for your time, my friend. We
Thank
hope you
you.
have a good one, and please make sure to pass our well wishes as well to the rest of Subsun.
I will.
And coming up next here in the booth, we also have a bit of a tasting from the other side. We have the captain themselves, Overlord of the cereal aisle, as well as Overlord in the tank role. That's going to be Cap'n Crunch coming in from Primordius Rising. Cap'n, my friend, how we feeling?
Feeling great today, man. Thank you. I'm feeling awesome.
You should be. You guys kicked ass. There's no 2 cents about it. So I gotta ask. There's a bit of experimentation here. I saw the Winston. I was seeing the Junkrat. I was seeing some kookiness there. So I'm curious. When you think about Primordius Rising as an identity, as a team, what is the vibe that y'all exude? What is the aura that y'all got?
Um, I really would say it's my flexibility combined with the independent, like how we play independently. Like all of our players can play by themselves and operate on their own, and we're kind of
Yeah.
five people who all can win a fight at once, and it's all five of us are dangerous.
Yes, I did
True.
see that a lot, where a lot of your DPSs. I'm gonna focus this question most on the DPS side, and I have a question for you as well. For the DPSs, I did see a lot of the playmakers going off and making their own plays. Did y'all practice that as well? Because I know you said you're independent, but was that something you planned for in case, hey, I go down, make a play over here? Sometimes were you just a distraction?
Yeah. So mostly it's our playstyle. Like, Sorix and Galaxy are both pretty independent players, and my job is just to walk it down main and pull as much attention as possible, and then capitalize if they turn for my DPS.
Yes, that's what I thought. That's why I was getting a feeling through the first map of Nepal. That's what I felt like that was the main goal of Euromatra. That was pretty good plays. I love the way that everyone made plays, and I also love the attention to detail that everyone worked together. Was there any point that you felt like, maybe we should try a different comp? Was there any time that you felt like, man, we're a little bit slipping here? Or is there any point in time of that?
On this match, no, not really. Okay, well, at the start of New Junk City, when I got ran over on Zarya, there was a thought, but I decided to stick it out, focus on bubbling my Cass and my Tracer, and go from there, and it worked out. So
Yes, it certainly did a sweep. You really can't argue with results, and the results are looking oh so mighty fine. But let's look towards the future, my friend, and also a little bit into the past. I'm going to give you a big question and a little tiny bonus one on the side, just your greens and such. But the big question I got for you, my friend, y'all are advancing on to the losers bracket. Y'all are now going to be going up against Tarnished. But is that the matchup you'll have your eyes set for? Or is there a bigger team? Is there someone else that you really want to call out here and say, we're coming for you? And then side question, what were the comms looking like when Galaxy hit that 4K?
okay, so to start, Zodiacs, we want to beat Zodiacs. They beat us twice. We took a map off of them the first time, and then we got 3-0 the next time. We want to beat this team. They're super beatable. Individually, I think we're better players, but as a team, they might play a little better than us.
Hmm.
And the comms are pretty chill. It's mostly focusing on setting up Galaxy on an angle, and then I take attention. And helping my Lucio spec on Lucio and Wu Yang. We send our run heads support a lot. So.
Yeah, but during the 4K, what were y'all saying, man? What were
Oh,
y'all
the
saying
4K.
during the 4K?
I'm so sorry. There was one comment said grab pulse ? Nothing else was said, and we hit it. Easy money.
Sounds
Easy
about
money.
right. Sounds like
Nothing.
comms.
Efficient, ruthless, lethal, and only saying what needs to be said because the actions just speak for themselves. My friend Cap'n, you and the rest of your team have certainly given Tarnish and the rest of that lower bracket something to fear. I look forward to seeing you in the future for some more CGL matches. Before you head off, any big shout outs, any big thanks you want to give before you head off?
I want to shout out Galaxy for playing today. Today was the day where we finally like finalized a roster we want to play, and shout out to our manager, Decay. He's awesome. He schedules all our stuff. He might slack a little bit sometimes, but he's the main reason we're still together. So that'll be it for me.
Judging from what I'm seeing here as well, in terms of the stats chart, seems that Zodiac's gonna be waiting the losers finals, so you might very well get that grudge match in just a bit, but that'll have to be a story for another time. My friend Captain Crunch, thank you very much for yours. Thank you for your plays as well. Please pass our congrats on to your team.
All right, thank you very much.
Peace. And man, it has been quite the day for CGL. You take a look at the Grand Vista. Zodiacs go down 3-0 up against the Boop Troop, who boop them right back to lower bracket to potentially be taken down by Primordius, who rise to the occasion with their 3-0 sweep. And you look overhead at what we can see now. Zodiacs, once again, losing that winners matchup against Boop Troop. They'll be waiting in that losers round finals to see who ends up taking it from Primordius Rising and Tarnished. That will be one of their opponents. Quite a lot more good competitive Overwatch to look forward to, folks. But as far as the stream here today, that is all we're going to have for you here on CGL NA Plat Division. I've been D'Lo, joined in the booth by Lunar. We've had our almighty Sky. Time to light, keeping the prod lights on and the cam steady. Big thanks as well to Reclaimer for keeping that obs nice and sharp. Please thank our production for all they do. We could not yell at games without them. And last, but certainly not least, thank you, loyal, obedient viewer, for your time. We hope you've enjoyed this series just as much as we have. Keep an eye to the sky for more CGL content coming at you. Until then, good games and good night.
Good night, everyone.